So, yeah, welcome back everyone to the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. Up next is Beyond Good and Evil. But before we start out with this game, one donation came in just now. 15 euros from Mods366 saying, Yo Steve, good luck on your run. May the RNG be with you. Your practice did look pretty solid. Show us all what can be found beyond good and evil. Money goes towards my girl Teresa for Octopath Traveler, as well as English for the language. I'm more used to that. Smiley face. And with that, Steve, take it away.
Thank you, Shadow Frost. Hello, everyone. I'm stevetvonline. I'm going to be playing Beyond Good and Evil. This is a gorgeous game, and if you played this as when you were younger or you've just heard of it before, you will be seeing it run much differently than what you remember. I am also here with Senvi, who is actually the world record holder for the game, and he also ran it on the old version before we found all these tricks.
Yeah, and the old route, so hello everyone.
The last time this was run, I believe, was back in 2014, and no skips were done for that run, so this is showing off the whole route as we have it today. So the timing begins the second that I hit new game here, and that will be in 3, 2, 1, go. So, right off the bat, we're going to go right into a cutscene, and you'll also notice these loading screens. Since I'm playing on the HD version on the Xbox, we're going to have some cutscenes. If you were playing this on PC, it would go right into this cutscene.
Yeah, sadly, console version just give us a little bit of waiting time, but that's fine. We have a lot of time to do everything we want.
Yeah, so that's right away we start off in this cutscene, and you get to hear from the alpha sections, who are the supposed good guys of this game here, and then we get to see our main character, which is Jade, and she is doing a little bit of yoga with one of the members of the lighthouse. Jade watches over these orphans on this lighthouse and is protecting them, and this is just one of the ones that you'll see. So while they're sitting there, something bad is going to happen, and this guy's going to turn a little green. So Jade is going to go and try and protect Fen here. This game was created in 2000. This was a 2003 game, so it's actually held up quite well. It's aged really well for a 2003 game, and it was played on the Xbox. Actually, the HD version is on the Xbox One. It's on the... What else systems is it on?
Oh, on many consoles. PC, Xbox, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360 and GameCube.
Yeah, and I'm going to be doing the tricks for this any percent. The tricks that I'm going to be doing in any percent can be done in any of the versions of the game. So now that Giant Thing traps all of the orphans into the Dom's sarcophagi, as they're called in the game, and we're going to be doing our first attacking form, and if you hear the music in the background, all the music is gorgeous in this game. And the attacking that I'm going to be doing for this is I'm going to do attack, short break, and then attack again, and that will allow for us to do our strongest attack in the game.
And it's 7-hit combo. Okay, so that's turning pretty with some fighting. The game catch up a little bit after the first split, but when we go there, we're gonna talk about this, so no spoiling.
So I'm going after all these enemies in a specific order. That way they don't hurt me. You're gonna try not to get hurt, obviously, on these, but it's more important because we're barely gonna get health upgrades throughout this. We have 2 hearts right here. We're gonna be getting a total of 4 overall. And usually when you go to the end, you have a lot of hearts.
Yeah, and the final boss hit like a truck, so any bit of extra health really help, but in any percent just go fast and hope for the best.
So now Jade is captured by the big boss here. And then we have something else that's going to happen here. We're going to be meeting our next character, main character of the game, and that is Paige. And Paige is going to pass us our bow staff that we're going to be using throughout the entire run.
Yep, our mostly used weapon in the game.
So for here, with the bow staff, we're going to be able to do a new attack, which is the charge attack. You're just going to hold down your attack button and then attack. And this guy, normally when you play it casually, it's a lot longer fight, but all you have to do is just attack him once, use your special attack. Attack is I again, special attack, and then we have one more time, and the boss will be done. It's a matter of just a matter of phases you get through, not the amount of attacks you do to him in order to finish it off.
Yeah, good fight. And like you said, bosses in the game are programmed like that, so each phase, the faster you get, the faster you end the fight. So no matter how many times you hit it, no matter how many fast you can go through phases.
So right here, after we killed the boss here, the first thing that we're going to be getting is this pearl here, and the pearls, we're going to technically be getting 31 throughout the entire game, because the first one we're going to be using just in a little bit here, but the other 30 we're going to be using to end up going to the final area of the game, which we'll find out what that is in a little bit.
And like I said, more cutscene on the game.
And this is Secundo. We'll see him a couple of times throughout the run as well.
Clearly how
And then we go right from one cutscene into another cutscene. 2/3 of this run is gameplay, the other third of the game is cutscenes. So there's quite a few that we have to go through, and there is no skipping these cutscenes.
Right now it's a lot better than in the old days, like you said, when I started speedrunning and the world record was like 2 hours and a half. Back then I timed how many times cutscene takes, and it was 1 hour of gameplay and the rest was cutscenes, so yeah, it was really something.
Yeah.
Right now it's a lot faster thanks to Beluga ski, but like I said earlier, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Call as fast as a speeding bullet.
Yeah, so Paige is just getting mad at all of the whole alpha sections because they just show up when to make themselves look good.
What a show off. Okay, and after this cutscene there's gonna be another cutscene, and after that finally we're gonna get some gameplay.
Movement, yeah, gameplay, movement in the game.
And like I said, the game really starts slowly but pick up the pace after that.
Yeah, there's a lot of cutscenes at the beginning, but the longest cutscene is in the very end of the game.
And one of the best also, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Jade, how are you feeling, darling?
I'm fine, Paige. I'm fine. Still no
Any
power?
donation?
Nope. Now that the shield is on the blitz, we're sitting.
No donations at this point. But, however, I'd like to. I can plug some other things. First of all, I really like to thank ESA for supporting the event and for allowing us to stream on their channel. They actually opened up their submissions for their summer events like today or yesterday, so make sure to check them out as well for even more marathon fun to submit for. Like if you miss your submissions for this marathon, like there's also that marathon, so yeah, check them out. Definitely do that, because we wouldn't be able to be streaming here right now without their support as well, so thank you.
Alright, thank you very much. So, right here, Secundo was talking about how the people at, is wanting us to take pictures for them in order to get money to so then if we take enough of the pictures, you can get yourself another pearl. But we're only going to be taking about 3 pictures throughout this entire run.
Yeah, in the old route you would take 8 pictures to get zoom for your camera, but we're gonna get it later in the factory. And after that you would take, I think, 16 photos, 8 photos for each pearl. But like we said, we don't need them anymore with this route. And we go for the blue Scrotchek specifically because it has enough money to take 1 picture and just skip to the cutscene.
And that was actually really good placement for that Vorax. You want to try and get out there fast enough in order to take a picture about right there, because otherwise you have to wait for him to fly all the way over to the right and then start heading back before you can take the picture. So we got out there fast enough in order to get the picture.
Come down here as soon as you can. Looks like there's a mission for you.
Alright, so now that we have that, we're going to head over to Paige's workshop here and follow the M disc.
Yeah, first mission to the game.
And what you're going to see me do is I'm going to roll into some of the loading zones because it's a lot fast. As long as a part of Jade's body hits the loading zone, then the cutscene will happen, or the trigger.
Yeah, a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
If you can read it now, and give me a chance to adjust this stupid decoder player that refuses to obey its
So
master.
after this whole cutscene, we're gonna run over and we're gonna grab the M disc, and the M discs are meant for you to get your missions. So we're gonna grab it, and then go back over to the decoder player and listen to the disc, or shall we say, barely listen to it by just skipping through all the text boxes here.
Yeah, other than this mission, there's a lot of other M discs you can get through the whole the game.
You know this DeCastro
Mostly your investigation, but there's also a few things like mini game. After you get all the pearls, or after you get all the picture of animals in the planet, you also get a disc of each of the photo you make.
Don't worry, Paige. Everything will be fine. If you want, I'll go along.
And other stuff, little story about the game, enemies you face off, so it's really good to explore and get all of them.
Yeah, just looking at this level, playing this game casually and just exploring it's such a beautiful world that they made for this game. So if you've never played this game before, I would highly suggest playing it because it's a beautiful game. Okay,
I really think there's some places where you can get it really cheap right now. Maybe GOG, Steam, or other servers. It's really cheap, should be.
Alright, we're gonna push this generator over to the electricity so we can start up the hovercraft there. And you'll notice that in this cutscene, you'll see Jay just standing in the background. You can move around while you're doing that, but the unfortunate thing is we wouldn't be able to get into the Beluga, so we just kind of just stand still and wait for that to happen, and then we're gonna run over there into the hovercraft.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, one of the things that game does really weird is camera movement in different places or cutscene, but we'll get there also.
Oh boy.
Alright, so here's the, coming up into Momgo's garage, we have the biggest trick in the game that can save you upwards of 45 minutes to an hour depending on your gameplay. So what exactly happens with this trick, Senvi?
That's it.
So, as a community, we know that getting Beluga early is possible, but we didn't have any normal way to get it, instead of using a cheat engine or some other softwares. But, alas, 1 year ago, there was a person, Cosate, who came to us on the Discord and said, "Hey, I did this on my first playthrough like 10 years ago, and I get Beluga early," and it was like, really? And after that, everything changed. The game was not the same. So, what we are doing, Beluga is, let's say, upgrade to your hovercraft. It's allow you to fly on the whole island. how you get it. Normally, when you play the game, you go to the factory, slaughterhouse, and then you go back to lighthouse and get beluga there. But there's a little mankament to that. You can see there was a door close to where Steve was entering, and it's also leading to the to the beluga when you dock there. But it's not open until you get beluga. But thankfully, thanks to that skip, we can get beluga right now. So it's gonna, like Steve said, saved 45 to 1 hour of gameplay, depending on how good you are on the game. The only problem is how to get it. We just stay in this place and look to that specific place and just pray for the best.
Yeah,
There's
we're
really
at the
no-
mercy of the game. We're at the mercy of the game at this point now. This can take upwards of 10 minutes. But luckily, as I keep on, every time I get here, I say, luckily you're stuck in Mamago Garage where they have really good music. You will know when this happens here. So if you want to read off something, Shadowfrost, at this point, you can do that.
Of course I can. Let me open the thing here right now. So yeah, I'd like to remind everyone that we still got a couple of donations incentives left. Earlier during the intermission, I mentioned the Octopath Traveler incentives, but there's also a few more incentives coming up. And one I'd like to mention right now is by the commentator of the previous run. Nandi will later be doing a Step Mania showcase, and there's also a donation incentive open for that one. There he'll be able for a total of 75 euros. We'll be able to he'll show off some modded step files as an extra showcase to that, and there's extra and he prepared some really cool ones. So if you want to see even more Step Mania later, there's currently 13 euros out of 75 right now is donated towards it. So only I can't do maths. I think that's 62 euros. Yes, that's 62 euros. So only 62 euros more. Every little donation helps, and every donation will make it one step closer.
Thank you. So as you see, like I said, this is just at the mercy of the game wanting to give it to us. There's nothing we can do. We know how it works. We know what it does. It's just a matter of the game saying, oh, here, I'll let you do it this time.
Yeah, basically we just try to do everything the same like we did previously and hope for the best. So far we didn't found any better setup. We know that in different places in the Mamago Garage it also can happen, but this one is the most consistent for every runner, where they do it and they sooner or later get it.
Now, if this takes really long, I do have a safety save, but it's awesome when it actually happens. That's why I'm hoping it will. The camera will work with us to do it.
Because it's really weird that after you get it, everything is black for Xbox version, and on PC it's really greenish, and after that you just get a beluga. Like, what? How? Why? It doesn't make any sense, but when it happens, it's really glorious moment.
Like I said, I've had one attempt before where it just worked on the first try, and there's just nothing you can do at this point. This is the most luck-dependent trick in the entire game. We have a very technical trick later on in the run.
Yeah, thankfully it's only the only RNG dependent skip in the game. Other than that, everything depends on your skill and how good you are on the game.
Okay, now I need to start getting some bless RNGs in the chat, please, because this is starting to get up there. Yeah, this is the second loop of the music, which means I've taken way too long to do this trick. Oh, why, Beluga?
the game never let us to get this.
I shouldn't have jinxed it. I said I was getting it pretty consistently before the run, and now the game is there. It is. There we go. We got it.
Finally, good.
So right now I have my hand completely off of the controller. Right now they're gonna push us into Hillis, and then they're going to then have us go and go back into Mamago Garage. So then all we do is turn back around, go into here, and we now have the Beluga. And the Beluga will allow for us to get to places a lot easier this way.
Yeah,
And we're gonna head.
you change the
we're gonna
game
head right over
immediately.
Oh yeah. Where you're able to fly around to get to places a lot faster. All right, so we're gonna go down here. There we go. And we're gonna go into Black Isle where they originally wanted us to go in the beginning of the game here. So we're going to talk. We're normally supposed to talk to this guy, Mr. Cadillac here, about his boss. Or this is Mr. DeCadillac. Mr. Cadillac is his boss, and he wants us to go into Black Isle here and take pictures. However, if we stand in a specific area, line up our camera, and then jump over, we can completely skip that dialogue box, which loses about 1.5 minutes if you manage to accidentally run into it. So right here, we're going to get Paige over here onto the button, so we can open up the door. So because we skipped that cutscene, Jade's lip are gonna freak out a little bit.
It's perfectly
And then
normal.
Find him his earthworms.
Yeah. Now, this next area here, Paige is going to want to talk to us about something he wants to tell us, so we're just going to run over here to this spot and then talk to him really fast, and this will allow for us to talk to him a little bit faster than normal.
Yeah, and he's gonna introduce us to his special boots.
The outcome of
Hey,
a life's
Jumbo.
work. My little marvels. The jet
So these
And-
jet boots will allow for us to do a lot of different things throughout this run. Solving puzzles, hurting enemies, and helping us with boss fights, actually.
All you have to do to fire them up is contract your abdominal muscles.
So
It's the transportation
we're
of
gonna
the future.
hit Y here and activate the jet boots. Chili con carne.
Never gets old.
What the?
So if you're playing the game, when you're playing the game casually, you'll see him slam down like that, and you'll notice those buttons shaking up and down. That will tell you
There
exactly.
you have it.
You have something to do with those.
Cool.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over here, and
Go
we're.
get 'em, girl.
Why did you do that? I didn't even hit the
If you
button.
want
There
another
we go.
demonstration, just let me know.
We're gonna jump up here, and run all the way over here to let Paige up, and Paige has to come with us, otherwise the game will completely, we won't be able to continue on without Paige, because we're gonna need him later.
Nice one, Jade.
Yep.
Alright, so we're gonna use the attack here and hit it into the danger barrels here.
Well, you wouldn't leave your uncle, Paige, in this dangerous island.
Una materia crystal. I will
So-
transfer it to the
Skipping the dialogue box is a Xbox HD version only trick, I guess, because in the PC you have to watch
Come look at this.
a little tutorial there with the crystals.
Yeah, that little panel where Secundo was talking about crystal materia that you can change it to the credits. You can't skip them on PC. You can only skip it here in this game.
So here's our first enemy outside of the Dom's sarcophagi. And we're just going to be using our attack, break, attack
Crochax.
movement again, and we're going to be doing that on almost any enemy that we run into.
In groups of 2 or 3.
Yep, most of the enemy die on this one-hit combo,
Then we're
except
gonna
for the
jump up
bosses,
here.
but that's other thing.
I'm gonna roll here because Jake can get on the wall, as you just saw. And then we go from that right over to another trick. And it's not really a trick, it's more or less a skip, because when you're in this area, you have to normally fight all these jellyfish, and if you're playing normally, doing all the pictures or 100%, there are like 7 or 8 pictures that you would take in this area. However, we just skipped past all of it. But we do want to attack these Krochaks here, and hopefully not get hit by the jellies. And then we're going to go over here, and we're going to attack all the jellies. While I'm fighting them, I'm going to step on this right here to make Paige hopefully come over to us.
Yeah, really hope for Paige to cooperate with us and not staying and fighting with enemy. Which he didn't, that's good. His AI can really go derpy and go full commando and killing everyone.
Here.
So the next item that we're picking up is the Baracco D53 equipped with cutting hammer.
Equipped with cutting
This will allow for us to go through grates as well as him being able to attack in a different way. Oops, Paige. Sorry.
Hey, I'm sure we'll be able to find.
So we're gonna stand on this corner right here. So once he has the grates down, we can just do a roll, and we're now out of that area.
Yeah, little movement optimization.
So once again, we're gonna go into where the jellyfish are, and just run past them, hoping we don't get hit. Good, good, good.
Yeah, we are basically backtracking back to the first place. Well, Paige noticed a grid, but he couldn't do anything about this, but not anymore.
Alright, so now we're gonna go down to the grate down here where Paige wanted us to go earlier, but where I exploded the barrel down here, I had to go to it as fast as possible, otherwise Paige would have us go over here and do a small dialogue box and saying, hey, look, this grate, I wonder how we can get through. So we skipped that dialogue box by going fast enough.
Count me out, Jade.
Alright, so can you kind of explain this trick that's happening, coming up?
Yeah, sure. After we get Paige to come to us, there's gonna be a 3 Krochaks attacking, and there's a little skip you can do with them. We're gonna try and kill 2 of them, and then lure the 3rd one to follow us to the another gate. That will let Paige also luring to us, and we're gonna just keep killing the 3rd one, because after you kill the 3rd one Krochak, the game usually play a cutscene that saying that thanks to Jade for helping me and I would be dead or so on. But thanks to that we don't have to watch this cutscene, and it saves around 20 seconds if you are good.
Come on. Please use it. Thank you. I would if Paige would go to the right spot. There we go. Alright. Doing this is still saving time though, that's the thing.
Yep. Also you get lucky because usually Paige sometimes get hit by the Krochaks and you have to still save him twice. But after that there's another skip, the bridge skip, which leads us straight to the boss. Usually you have to do 2 fights, 1 cutscene and then a long walk with Paige. But thankfully we don't have to do this. We're gonna go straight to the boss room.
You want light or wheat?
And similar to the Gastelak skip, we're just gonna stay in specific spot. We're gonna aim on specific spot and then just go out of bounds. Going out of bounds in this game is really special because there's no floor. So if you go out of bounds you basically soft lock because you're gonna fall infinitely down. But thankfully there are a few places like this here where you can go safely out of bounds without soft locking the game. When we do that, we go straight to the boss room, take the picture, and this will trigger the boss fight. So it skips like 1 minute, maybe a little longer.
So, as you saw, the picture that Castellec wanted us to take is actually the eyes of our boss that we're going to be doing here.
Yeah, and this is the first photo we're gonna take especially for the money that we're gonna spend later on.
Yep. So before we even do anything, we're gonna take the picture here. Then we're gonna send Paige over to do the spin it, or the slam attack. Then we're gonna run over this way and hope that the jellies spawn right next to me. They did not. That's unfortunate. You can get lucky enough and the jellyfish will spawn right next to you, right over there, and it'll kill them off instantly. There we go.
Let's go.
This is not good RNG on where he's spawning. So now we have that, and we're going to fight 3 sets of Krochaks here. And then one more. Where did he go? Oh, okay, that was weird. Oh no, there he is. That was not good RNG. Okay.
Let's go.
Then this time we're just gonna attack him as many times as we can, just for some extra monies. Now, on this section here, he's just gonna use his breath blast, or his bad breath that he has here, and we're just gonna run around in a circle so he can't hit us.
Normally he would do that twice, but hopefully we're gonna skip the second phase, saving like 10-15 seconds of the fight.
Let's see. So I have to hit him as many times as I can right here, including when he comes out of the hole here. Cool, that should be enough. So, yep, that completely skipped that other phase of him using his breath. Alrighty. That was kind of slow just because of Krochaks, RNG, and the jellyfish, but... Now he is dead, and we're going to be getting our first pearl of 30 that we're going to be needing here.
Yep, back to what we were talking about Beluga skip. After we get Beluga, we can go straight to the Black Island, do this, then go back to the city, then to the factory, and we can skip Slaughterhouse completely. But in order to do that, we have to get 30 pearls. And we get this mostly by going to the volcano on top of the Black Island right after this part. When you get 30 pearls, we're gonna go straight to the Mogo Garage, buy Stellar Engine, or Star Engine, whatever you call it, and we're gonna go straight to the moon. But all in each time.
Congratulations, Miss
Alright,
Jade. You have
so this is
I got a bone to pick with your
when
boss.
they're flying around
Mr.
later on,
Castellak never really
just listen to Jade's
I think
voice
I owe you
acting,
some
because
explanations,
this is
Miss
one of the
Jade.
few cutscenes coming up here that Jade has really bad voice acting for some strange reason, and it makes me laugh every time.
hop in.
I also love that he just goes straight from limousine to the taxi like, hop in.
Yeah, and how are they supposed to fit both of them into that taxi anyway? That's what I always want to point out, is it's such a small taxi.
Miss
How do
Jade,
all
you
3 of
have
them fit into
brilliantly
it?
succeeded your situation test.
Situation test?
Yes. Please forgive this little charade.
So the next line that Jade says is some really...
Iris Network? The
Oh
Red
no, not this one, it's the
Organization?
next one.
Yes, the rebellion. Fighting against a threat that no one knows exists. If nothing is done, the entire population will be destroyed.
Yeah, there's
With the
one.
help
Right
of
here.
Alpha sections, we can push back the DOMs.
The Alpha
And then the
sections
next
are not
line as
exactly
well.
what you believe them to be. They capture 10 people for every one that
Okay,
they
so
save.
one thing
The
of
Alpha
the
sections
chat
have been
mentioned that
defending us for
this
years.
game
They take
makes
care of the
a really
wounded,
good
push
use
back
of the
DOMs
photography you
attacks.
use. Like I
Exactly
said,
how they cloud
after
their
you play the
suspicions
game and
gain
photograph
your
all of
confidence,
the animals, you
they
take
suck the life
M
blood
disk
out of our
with
planet
the
exactly
photos
as
you
we've
each
done
made,
hundreds of
so you
others.
can see
The
what
Hellman
animals
government
take
didn't
picture.
have the time to
But
react.
the same goes
They were
for the
completely
evidence. The evidence, like we did just right now with the boss, it's gonna be one of the evidence, but
They are
not sure
completely
later on.
aware that an uprising
Then
of the
later on, we're
population
gonna
will
have to
catastrophe.
take 2 pictures
Bring the
of
proof of this
evidence
conspiracy
in,
to the
sorry,
people,
3 pictures
and
of
victory
the
will be
evidence in the
ours.
factory,
Moreover, Jade, the Iris
then
Network
3 in
will
Slaughterhouse, and then 1
help
on
us
the
fight a
moon.
good
And
fight.
each of this photo would be used in the ending
If you
game
decide to join
cutscene.
us, rendezvous at the Akuda bar.
But
Ask
yeah,
for
there's
Peters.
gonna be some little trickery to it later on,
You're
but you're
free
gonna
to
see
choose
it.
your side, Jade.
Did you say peepers?
Alright,
At the Akuda bar. Be sure to remember the password.
you should remember the password,
Safe and
everyone.
sound in its shell, the precious pearl is the slave of the currents.
Security measure?
Discretion is
That
the key.
password is
Oh,
only
by the way,
used
I almost
once.
forgot your reward. Hope to see
Basically, you
soon,
can
Miss
use
Jade.
it on every NPC you meet on later on, but
Miss Jade,
to
think
get
about
little
all this
different
now.
dialogue, but other than that, it's
If there's a way to stop
no
this
use,
war,
basically.
we can't let it pass us by.
All right, and
Let's
get
go
into
see
the
just
hovercraft
exactly-
and get ourselves out of here. All right,
And just
so
like-
as Senvi was saying, now that we have the beluga, we're gonna be going right into the volcano because the volcano is actually straight up from where we're at right here.
You know
And
him?
the reason that we're going into the volcano is for us to get.
Buddha
Oops,
Bar,
where am I?
pedestrian
Come on.
district.
There it is. We have to go in here just to get pearls. We're able to get quite a few in here in order for us to add up to that 30. But the first thing you're going to
You
notice,
have to be very careful.
there's a
Say the
strange
treasure is
man's
guarded by
voice
a colony of Krochaks.
coming from the ship, and that's because at this moment we would be switching out and Paige would not be with us at the moment, and we would have Double H, so we get all of his dialogue box instead of Paige talking in this moment.
It's that way, Miss Jade.
Yep,
Which
that's
is really
true.
funny
The
to me.
game just doesn't know what to do with having page here, but thankfully that idle dialogue is just the text box and some audio, so it's not a big deal.
Don't break
Thankfully,
up the
because in the old days,
Go get 'em,
when we were
girl.
practicing everything
Thank you, Mr.
and trying, get page or double H to different places where they supposed not to be there,
Krochaks in sight.
the game usually crash. So yeah, it's really good thing that does not right now.
So what you're going to notice here is there's going to be red lights coming out of Krochak's mouth. That means that they're about to attack, so we want to go after the ones that are about to attack us. Because otherwise you will get hurt. Obviously.
Yeah, and if you try to attack the one that doesn't have that red flash, you're just gonna miss the hit completely.
Alright, we have 2 more coming
Look
after
out,
us.
Miss Jade. They're sending in backup.
So we're gonna grab the single pearl right here first because we got that one first, and we're gonna pick up these 2 that are gonna go together because they were part of the same group. And then you'll notice that there's those pearls up there that we left behind. We're still gonna leave those behind for a second because we have a couple more enemies that we have to go after here.
Yeah, we're gonna pick them later on when we are leaving the volcano. Another good thing that we don't have Double H here instead of Paige is because, like you can see, Paige is nowhere near us because his AI doesn't allow him to move here because he's not supposed to be here and the game just doesn't know what to do. And with Double H is different matter because he likes to get in every different occasion he can do some weird stuff like
We get out of this alive.
get
we can
down
find a stellar motor.
the floor or get killed or maybe soft lock with Krochaks. It's really too many good rounds was ended because Double H just do what he can the best and being derpy.
Alright, that was a really good fight right there.
Yep, solid fight.
Solid. And then we're gonna run this way and pick up all the pearls that we left behind, and then we're done in the volcano here. Alright, and the last 3, so we have 16 leaving here, which is exactly what we need.
Yep, halfway there to the Beluga Star Engine.
That doesn't mean we're halfway done with the run, it just means we're halfway to getting the Beluga. Alright, so right here, because Paige is not supposed to be here at this moment, his AI likes to freak out a little bit, and he can stop moving, so that's why I look at him there, which is good. He's running, and he will follow us now. So we're going to get into our hovercraft and leave this place.
Yep, and after doing the Black Island, normally we go back to the city, to Barracuda or Akuda Bar, to meet Iris Network.
Come on. Thank you. So one thing that you might have noticed is when I'm trying to drop down, you'll hear that maneuver not allowed.
Risk high.
collision risk high. The game just gets annoyed after a while. If you just keep on hitting A to drop, the game is just like, fine, we'll drop you here, even though it's at risk for getting hurt. So when we get to the pedestrian district here, we have something coming up that's there are a bunch of different codes that we're going to be collecting. What's going on with these codes, Senvi?
Yeah, so the game is programmed like that. Even if you play the game multiple times and let's say on the same files, the code would be the same, but without the key item like the emails or the tickets that you're gonna get one from Peepers right here in the Barracuda, the game won't allow you to put the code. It's gonna say like, nope, that's not the code I wanted. So even if we wanted to go even faster with knowing the code, we can't because, yeah, we don't have the key item needed for that. And there's a lot of the codes.
This is where you guys can interact in the chat. We're going to be getting another code here in just a second. I want you to guess what the next code is going to be. It has to be a letter, number.
Sorry, Rufus.
And it can do repeats. So right here, while we're messing with Peepers, go ahead and make your guess on what you think the next code is going to be.
Before F6.
Oh, it's in the middle. Cool.
Oh, so lucky I never get the middle one.
I'll let you have.
Half second save there.
I'm sure.
That's still worth it.
There's a beautiful old locker. I suggest you take a look at it.
Alright. N6L5. N6L5. Alright. Alright, so now we're going to go into the Iris Den. This is the Iris Network. And then they're going to tell a little bit about the story and what's going on. And while this dialogue box is going on, if you have anything for us, Shadow, go ahead and do that.
This is May, editing and distribution.
Sure thing. So yeah, right now you're watching the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering, aka BSG. But you know, even if you're not from the Benelux, there's also other great events going on. For example, if you're from the UK and would like to attend an event similar to BSG, you can highly recommend checking out UKSG. There are a bunch of amazing people there, and it's an event during regular times, an event in Glasgow, running 4 times a year, while they raise money for young minds. And they always do amazing work. They're like super great people over there, so make sure to check them out as well. If I recall correctly, their submissions for their next event closed like yesterday, so unfortunately gotta wait a little bit for that, but they're gonna be setting up a great event. Speaking about setting up great events, if you enjoyed this event, BSG, we also got another event coming up in about a month and a half, going from August 12th through August 15th. We'll be having BSG at home as a replacement for our BSG annual, which we would normally be holding during that period. So make sure to still mark your calendars for those dates, because it's going to be a great event. We're currently in the middle of getting the schedule and everything set up, so yeah, make sure to not miss that.
Alright, thank you very much. One thing I want to point out here is my favorite character is Peepers. He barely has any dialogue throughout the entire run, and when he does, he just makes me laugh every time, just because of how little lines he has.
You'll be in constant contact with May. She'll broadcast your photos as quickly as she
Okay,
receives
so
them.
during this cutscene, like Steve said, we have a little bit of story of the game. So the alpha section are the bad guys. They do some really weird stuff, and we have to investigate that. First, we have to go to factory, where you're gonna meet Double H, our next partner. After that, we would normally go to Slaughterhouse and then to the moon. But like I said earlier, we're gonna completely skip Slaughterhouse. Normally, when you play the game without Beluga skip, you would have to go back to the Mamago garage and buy the cannon upgrade for 5 pairs. But luckily, we first have the cannon win Beluga already, and secondly, there should be a guard guarding the gate to the Netropolis factory, but he isn't there. So that's another good thing.
Alright, so we're gonna go back into the main canal and we're gonna head over to the Neutrophils factory, which will be over to the left. And the Beluga just helps. We're gonna like Senvi said, later on there will be an area where we would have to shoot stuff, so we wouldn't be able to get back because of it. So luckily we have the Beluga that will allow for us to skip past that. It's just a short little ride over here.
Well, I'll be. They'd even blocked off this passage. You used to be able to get to the factory direct from here.
Now, the Neutrophils factory, there isn't really many skips right here at the very beginning, but we are going to get our next code, so go ahead and try and guess what the next code is going to be.
T4F8.
And
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If he hasn't changed it,
P4V4.
Hey. Also, maybe you didn't notice during the gameplay, like I said in the beginning, normally you would have to take a picture to get camera zoom, but in this Neutropolis factory, right in the final boss, we gonna get the zoom for free, so there's no need to take any more picture.
Alright, so right here, I just like to laugh at this because this is Impatient Jade. At this moment, we're going to have him do his action, then we're going to do our action at the same time, and as we're attacking right here, it's the fastest way to open up the grate after he's done.
We're gonna have to keep
And like, come on Paige, do it faster.
Don't worry, Uncle Page. We'll just take some pictures and get home.
Alright, so we're going to go this way. And those rats on the ground can actually hit you and make you lose a heart, which is unfortunate when you're only at 2 hearts. Come on. There we go. I have to wait. I have to get that dialogue box to happen right there, otherwise Paige will not go this way.
Hold your horses, good lord, you'll
Yeah,
bust
the
it.
eye following you here to push that box
What are you
can
doing?
be really wonky. Like I said.
Paige, please.
Need a hand?
Yes, I do, thank you.
Yeah, base Paige.
Because of how dumb the AI can be in this game with Paige,
Okay,
I've lost
let's get
over
at it.
2 or 3 minutes just
You're
on
gonna go and
him
make me wear out my
not
jack
moving
boots,
before.
Jade.
The latest
Yeah, I had
style
really
of
bad luck with Double H.
That's not
The
all,
AI can really be wonky.
That's not all. Ha!
What we can do? What Steve mentioned that he only have 2 hearts and getting hit by rats or anything is gonna put him in a really dangerous situation. But this is what we are hoping, because later on we gonna do a little skip,
We must keep an eye
and it's
on
really good to be on
It's
low on
getting
heart.
too risky, Jade. We're needed back at
Yeah,
the
so
lighthouse.
after this, they're showing us the Spear Reaper tracks and what exactly it can do to this Reaper that they're having us go after. But we're gonna be going downstairs to the laboratory here, and we're coming up on the arguably one of the harder fights in the game, which is the surface elevator fight, because there's going to be a bunch of spider robots that are in here, and they're going to try and attack us. But it can be very difficult because they can come from almost any direction, and as you can see, they turn red and come after me. But once the other ones come by, they can come from behind me, and there's nothing I can do like that. And I died.
Yeah, it's really deceptively hard fight. Anytime when you have to fight multiple enemy at once, it's really harder than it looks. When you have to fight like 1 or 2 enemy, okay, it's fine, but more than that, it's really hard not to die. Save
There.
your F. Save your F, guys. Save your F. It's gonna be a time for that.
No need to thank me. Your sunny smile is thanks enough.
Yeah, I'll give you a sunny smile. One of my favorite lines.
Okay.
And then we're going to leave Paige for the first time here. And then we're gonna run over this way,
Where you going?
get a small
Take a look
dialogue
over there.
box.
Okey doke. Looks like I'm stuck here. Be careful!
Nothing to worry about.
And then we're gonna go into here and get another small cutscene. I don't know why they have to have a cutscene to show this off. And in order to get through, we have to hit him into the electricity, and then we're gonna go through these doors. And this is where we meet the face of the voice that we had earlier. This is Double H, and this is our first picture that we're gonna need for the research.
Yep, the first evidence that we gonna get, and it's gonna be later reused in the final cutscene in the moon.
Got it, Shawnee.
All right, another guess, people. Here's your next guessing moment. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It should work.
G4P9. G4P9. Then we're gonna, opening this up will allow for us to get our gyro disc launcher, and we're gonna be using this for a couple of tricks later on in the game. However, we're gonna use this for the necessary purposes right here first.
And one of the
So
better.
so now we come into this cutscene where some of the dialogue is actually really
You
funny.
alright?
Yeah, one of the funner on the game. I really love this.
Yeah.
They turned my brain to jelly.
So we'll listen in on this dialogue box here.
Are you our contact? Are you Double H?
Not sure.
Does the iris mean anything to you?
Listen here, Miss Thyrus.
Jade. My name is Jade. And I haven't the foggiest how we're gonna get out of here.
For that, I may be of some assistance there.
So you are Double H.
Double H, Triple
Well,
C,
after that,
oh,
when
whatever
we
places you
gonna
don't
live
ask
with
me.
Double H,
All I
well,
know
he's
is that
gonna
another
embark
10
on his
minutes
own
was a
adventures, and we're gonna meet him in different places later on in Factory, so
You can count on me, Miss
don't worry,
Thyrus.
he's fine.
Jade.
And we're
My
gonna...
Alright, so
Jade.
what's gonna happen here is his special power is to go through those grates. So we're gonna have the action go, and we're gonna hit X at almost the exact same time. This will allow for us, hopefully, if I did it right, to grab the pearl at the same time as he went through there, which we did, and that's really good. And then we're gonna go through here, and we're gonna go on to our next boss. So what's gonna be happening in this boss, or at least I'm gonna be trying to do in this boss, Senbei?
So, like any other bosses, like you said, it's mostly about the faces. So, the face in this fight with Spirit Reaper normally would have to hit him once, and after that he will jump to the higher ground, because we know that high ground is better, and you have to hit him with a gyro thrower. But thankfully we can do a little thing where you hit him with the stick,
Paige.
and after like a half second of waiting, you are gonna throw a disc at him. And the game gonna think that you already get the whole cycle done, and instead of going high ground, he gonna jump to different spot. And we're gonna repeat that 3 times, and after that he would go up the higher ground and basically ending the fight. So instead of like 2 or 3 minutes fight, if you have bad luck, it's most likely around 1 minute or less fight.
I don't know why that did that.
You have one good luck. If you really time the throw correctly, you can throw the disc instead of hitting him with stick, but it's a little harder to do.
I think this is the last phase, yep. We're on the last phase, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand right here in this section, because it's scripted for him to fall down here on the last phase. and we just hit him and make him fall, and that is our Spirit Reaper fight. So I did not get hit during that fight, and I'm at 2 hearts, so I do have to take a little bit of damage here because I need 1 heart for this.
Shut up. You're making me hungry. I'm gonna regret
So in order to get hurt once, we're just going to do that, and then run down into the electrical room. So we're gonna make sure that we don't get hit by this electricity here. And then we're gonna go into this room where we're gonna see that the power's out, but the fan is causing the electricity. There we go. And then we're gonna run around. This is why we need 1 heart. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go around to the back over here, and we're going to grab this key. However, that key is going to be a robot boss. And we're going to have Paige help us knock him into the... Ouch. Okay, that did not work. We're fine, though. We'll have him do it again. Hit him in the electricity, and we're going to look for this key, which is right here. That's important for us because we're actually going to be picking that same key up here in just a minute. But first we have to go over here, activate the dialogue, or the fight, and then we're going to run over here, and we're going to get hurt by these enemies. And then we're going to go over here and pick up the key once again, wherever it was. There we go. And now we have 2 of the triangle keys when we're only supposed to have 1 at this point. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to take that. This is a PA1. This is going to allow for our health to come back in. We're going to give Paige... Okay, Paige.
Here.
Take that. We're going to give Paige 1 of the triangle keys. And then we're going to make him go over there.
Yeah, and fun fact, you can do that as many times as you want. Each time you die here, that keycard's gonna respawn and respawn and respawn, so you can get 100 for whatever reason you want to get that many.
There we go. Then we're gonna go around here and grab the next one, but we want to be careful where we're standing to grab that because you can actually activate the fight scene again. So we got both of the fuses that we need, and then we're gonna go up here and we will be done. But when we go up here, we're going to be taking everything away from Paige because he's not going to need it anymore. We will take both of the Starkos here. Then we're going to take the key card and leave the M disc and the boots to him. Then I'm going to see if I can try and get a glitch going up here.
Let's go. Well, I'll be a monkey.
Yeah, it's a little glitch that
doesn't look like
Jade. Even the Vaders have been screwed.
Doesn't look
away.
like I got this. What would normally happen here if you get the glitch just right? You can get 2 dialogue box, or he would repeat the dialogue that he has here.
I'll give it a go.
But there is one more glitch that I can do here. Maybe I can get that one as well.
Heck of a jolt. Look at that.
There's also another bad acting line that's coming up from Paige here in just a minute.
and Jade. Fuse.
And Jade.
I got one.
Jade, that's
Fuse. I've got
one. It should work.
It should work.
It's just that dialogue box just makes me laugh.
And finally,
Alright.
this dialogue change if you don't have the fuse already. We're gonna talk about something else.
Let's see if we change Paige. We did it, cool. So normally Paige would be standing in front of the machine right here and talking. However, he's all the way over into the middle there.
It really doesn't do anything except for looking weird and funny. That's all it is to do.
Alright, so now that we got that, we're gonna go up the we're gonna go up this elevator that we just unlocked. And
Me, we did one heck of a
when we
job,
get up to the
partner.
top, Paige is gonna hand us over an M disc. And since we aren't going to be reading any M discs, we're going to I'm going to tell you what the M disc is about. The M disc is just basically Paige recording himself saying how much he loves Jade and how he likes how he's taking care of the orphans and he couldn't live without her, basically. So it's one of those heartwarming moments when you first read it.
By the way, Jade, here. This came for you the other
Yeah,
day.
also one other thing
Better
that
have a look at it.
maybe
Why
you
didn't you
did
tell me
notice.
sooner?
on this disk he also mentioned the beluga, which he already fly. And
But
later
with
in the
everything
game,
going on,
you're gonna be really surprised that he gonna see beluga again.
No problem.
So
No
yeah,
problem.
fine page, whatever.
Alright, we're gonna get Paige to push that. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna battle Dom Sarcophagi again. But this time they're a little bit easier. We have this. Then we're gonna do it again. Then one more time.
Jay, it's the dog's monsters, just like the one.
I almost got it.
Not
I was
too
trying for the
bad, sugar.
dialogue skip.
Smoked ham by now.
Alright, so everyone in chat, I need you to put F's in chat for Paige, because unfortunately, after this, he is going to something's going to happen to him.
Yeah, he's going on
And-
vacation, he is really old and he needs some time for himself, so this little guy is gonna take him away and take good care of him.
Yep. So say goodbye to Paige. So after this happens here, normally you have to push a box up next to a door that's going to drop down. But we're going to do it in a little bit faster way by pushing it just a tad short away from the wall. So we're going to turn around here, get the box, and normally you would push this 3 times. You're only going to push it twice. 1, 2. Then we're going to move it over 1, jump up onto the box, and then we're going to use our gyro launcher here to look through the wall and hit the button through the wall. Now doing that, I'm going to point out here that doing that will allow for, shows a little hint at what we're going to do later on. There's different holes, like empty spots inside of some walls here that allow for you to shoot through them without it bouncing off. Normally, it would bounce off of that wall, but if you do that in a specific area, you can just shoot through it. So right here, we are going into the stealth section of the game. And if you've ever played this game before, you will know how difficult this stealth section is when you first play through it. But one thing to note, basically, is know when you can run, because you can run and roll. But if you do a roll without hitting the run button, they won't hear you.
Yeah, so this is the place where rolling or jumping is a lot faster than just slowly walking. And as a kid, I really hate all of the stealth section, and I never did them. I just kill all the guards. Except for even places in Slaughterhouse where there's a specific laser that even if one of the guards see you, they're just gonna kill you instantly, but I didn't care. I was on the mission.
Miss Cyrus, I'm blocked by the flames.
So right here, we have Double H, who is blocked by the flames, so we might as well save him. And we're gonna look at him
Yes, sir.
while we're walking over this way, because he will not open the he will not open up that push that button if we're not looking at him.
And strike them on their air tanks. That's their Achilles heel.
And
We'll
so
meet them
here's
further on.
another area where we know where the enemy is. He's standing around that corner, so we're just gonna jump up top here and leave him in the dust. Gonna run. Hey, I didn't... Usually right there, Cool. That was really good. Usually he sees me before I even get into there, but I did everything right. And then right here is where we're gonna get our first evidence that we need.
Stay on alert. Intercept and destroy.
Yep, so the first evidence that we did take here was Double H. After that we get the code for the throw disk. And now we need 2 more evidence. After that we're gonna take picture of a code leading to the final boss fight.
So, if you do not take both of these evidence pictures, the game will not allow for you to to continue on. You would have to go back. So
Yeah, like I said, even
hopefully-
if you save the game, do with evidence and then go without using the evidence, and you know the code, the game won't allow you to input them without getting the email.
All right, so right here we're going to find Paige's shoes, and there's going to be a code on the bottom of them. We do not have to look at that code, but in the other categories we do have to look at that code and remember it for like half of the game.
Paige's shoes.
Yeah, he was really alright with the codes,
What have they done with you?
but thankfully not anymore.
So we're just going to come in here at a certain distance and turn around, and these guys are going to spawn in that way. I'll run around this guy, and then we're going to head through here. We're almost done with having to do some stealth sections here, but we're also coming up really close right here to one of the hardest, or the hardest trick in the entire game. Oops.
Yeah, the laser skip. If you remember, while in Black Island, while doing the bridge skip, I said that doing out of bounds skip is really difficult because there's no floor, and this is right the place. When we are doing it, if you fail, well, you basically softlock or you die. If you die, you can also retry again because thankfully game spawn us right close, but if you doesn't die, then you just gonna fall infinitely and softlock the game.
This is where when I'm about to do the laser skip, I am going to be saving the game because I do not want to go out of bounds, because you have to take your second set of pictures coming up here right before you do the laser skip. And if you don't save there, you would have to retake the picture, losing even more time than if you had to just come back after you die.
Yeah, and like with Beluga skip, when it's really RNG, whether you got it or not, this is really technical skip, and it's really all on you.
So if you've played this casually, you usually go around the outside edge in order to get the picture for him. However, you can just go right here and take a picture of the guy.
Yeah, normally
It's a lot
the
faster.
game thinks that you have to go all the way around, then have a little chuck with double edge, seeing that, hey, this guard, he's completely different than us, take the picture evidence, and after that you would go your way, but last we are attacking, we're gonna do laser skip by squeezing between the gap again, between this box and the laser there. If you go too early, you're gonna be in death trap and you're gonna get pushed to the laser and die immediately. And if you go too slow, you're just gonna get pushed out by the box.
And I fell out of bounds, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about. No floor, so you just go infinitely and softload the game basically. So that's why we saved.
I did the hard part.
If you have enough Starkos from Page, like Steve's did, you can also just wait for the box, because for whatever reason the decked box doesn't kill you on the second laser, it only kills you on the first laser. So we can also just wait a little bit, heal ourselves and just go on, but it's slow.
Alright, let's do this. This is the trick I practiced the most beforehand, and I still mess it up. It's just a very difficult trick to do. Come on. I fell out of bounds again.
Too bad.
Yeah. I might have to do it the old way.
Well, you
really
do have
wanna start
Starkos,
that.
so it's no problem.
What was that?
Starkos to heal Serve, so it's no problem.
Yeah. I'm gonna try the one more out of bounds regular this way. If not, then I'll do it the slower way. I practiced this so much too.
Yeah, it's really hard trick. Even if you know what to do every time, it's really precise timing on both getting the first laser and getting past the second laser. It's really hard.
What? I don't know how I died there. I had a great stealth section and then this happens.
Yeah, base game.
Come on, come on, come on, please. And then I hit down below. Alright, time to just do it the old way. Or the harder, or the slower way.
So after the skip, there's gonna be 2 rooms that we have to get past with specific movement. If you are too slow, the guards on both rooms gonna see you, and well, you're gonna be really bad time with them. But
So
thankfully,
right here, we're just gonna go through. So that's the slower way to get out of bounds here.
yep.
There we go. Shoot a gyro disc that way, and then we're gonna run this way. Man, that's upsetting.
Yeah, what you can do.
Alright, so we have another picture coming up here. Everybody make your guess on what the code is going to be. We have one more guard that we have to get through here. Then we're going to throw... Oh, hi! Wow.
You missed the
I've
throw.
never... Okay, we're getting the obligatory, that's never happened before. There we go.
Once to me. I also missed the first throw, but I thankfully was fast enough and hit him on the second throw.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think we've got
That's a D6.
Well, I was close on D.
Alright. Time to go on to this next boss here. So this is an interesting boss because it actually takes like what, maybe a minute to or like 30 seconds to do this fight normally. Well, no, about minute and a half, minute. But we're going to do something in order to get past him a little bit faster. Like I said, we're going to be using the gyro disc to do tricks. Well, what you saw earlier when I shot through the wall was there's hidden areas that I'm going to be able to shoot through, and we're going to use that to our advantage here.
So again, case of another phase bosses. Normally, you would have to hit both of his legs. That's gonna make him fall down and open the grid with his pair. Then you're gonna throw the disc and repeat it 4 times. But like Steve said, this game has little gaps between things, so we're gonna make use of it, and like Steve said, instead of like 1 minute's fight or maybe longer, we're just gonna end this fight in 20 seconds. or so.
It saves a lot of time. It's actually very, like, it's pretty lenient. If you can do it in your casual run very simply. It's a very easy trick to do, as long as you know where to stand, and if you do it in the same spot every time, it will always work.
Yeah, even with this fight is a lot easier than Spirit Reaper when you have to know what to do. Here you just stay, aim on the one spot and just throw this 4 times and boss is dead. And fun fact.
Alright.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna go.
No, I was just gonna say this is the boss right here. That's all I was gonna say.
Okay, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna hit the legs 1 or twice. It doesn't really matter because still we have to wait for Double H to spawn. We can't kill the boss without Double H. If we try, game crash. I tried it before. It doesn't work.
Here's my favorite line right here.
Hey, what the heck is this thing?
He's so serious throughout the run, and then he says that, and I just find it hilarious. Alright, so I'm gonna stand right here, and I'm just gonna shoot through the grate right here in order for us to actually kill him. And there you go. The boss is done.
One of the easiest fights in the entire game.
Yeah, it's so simple. So here's our pearl from the boss.
And funnily enough, this is the only pearl in the whole game which you can also pick up from far away by throwing disc at it again.
Paige.
Each other pearls you have to go back and take it personally from really close, but in this one, it doesn't work.
Ticket not included.
Yep, we're gonna get Jade's gonna turn around and do like this swag, like walk away. I'm gonna do this moment, and then we're just gonna turn around and we're gonna shoot gyro disc at that, and there we go. So now that we're done with everything here, we're gonna grab ourselves the PA1, and then we're going to head over here and open up this elevator. Use it, please.
Yep, final PO1.
Here.
Yep, that's our. This is all the hearts that we're gonna have for the final boss throughout the rest of the game.
Hey.
It is funny, you can get a Double H to get stuck past that wall. I've had it happen once before.
Hey.
We're on the right track. The exit isn't far.
So we need. We're hoping for. We're gonna exit out of this area, and there's gonna be a moment here where we have a chance for Paige to say a line in the middle of a cutscene when he's not even around. So let's hope for that random dialogue to show up for us.
If it doesn't happen here, there's also a place near Momogo Garage when the same thing can happen, that we're gonna hear the dialogue from Paige, even though he is not with us anymore.
Hopefully, come on, Paige. Come on.
The Iris Nut.
Jade.
Yes, we got it.
Way to get our hands on that pearl, by
Don't
golly.
ask me.
So Paige's dialogue just randomly shows up out of nowhere there.
All I know is how much he meant to me. Looks like
Really
you're
good
finally getting your
game.
head back together again. You back with us?
Getting there. But my head is killing me. The machine gave my
Alright,
brain a good
so now we're gonna
scrubbing.
go out here. We have to turn on the power in order to leave, so we have our second fuse box here. But first we have to defeat a couple of enemies. There's one,
Respect the home team, chapter 20.
2, and then this Vorax. Come on.
Yeah, I hate this fight personally really much. Both the Krochak's and Page Double H movement is really weird and wonky.
And there we go. We put in the second fuse box, and we'll be able to leave now. But first, something's gonna happen to Double H.
Miss Jade, oh, this thing is eating up my insides. I can't
So
hold
in all
much
this
longer.
rush, trying to get him to
Guys from Iris, they might be
to
able
get out of here, we
do something
also
to help
have
me.
one thing that we have to pick up, and that is the pearl that we got after we fought the
I'm
Spirit
begging
Reaper.
you. I can't
And we're gonna
breathe,
make
Miss
sure that he's
Jade.
following us, because he
I'm
can't get stuck on the
connected to my
door.
auxiliary circuits, but they
And they give us a
won't hold
ton
out
of
very
time.
long.
There's no reason for us to actually have that amount. Come on.
I can't see a thing.
Come
Where
on.
are you, Miss Jade?
Please. Double H, please.
Tell you the truth, that never happened to me before. At least on PC
There we
version,
go.
it's never happened.
Yes, Miss Jade, but hurry.
It happens a lot. That's why I always have to watch.
Yeah.
Alright.
We work together as one, Miss Jade.
Okay. We understand Double H. Now we're gonna go straight instead of going to the left, because this is where our pearl is, and if we're fast enough, this is one area where you don't want to go too fast, otherwise you won't pick up the pearl. So if you go out here and just turn around, start leaving, it'll pick up the pearl for us, and then we can leave into the factory entrance, then head out, back out to Hillis. There we go.
So, right
Alrighty.
now we're at 20 pearls. We still need 10 more. We're gonna get 5 pearls from Iris Network as our reward for saving Double H. Then we're gonna take 3 more pearls from Alpha section later on. And we're gonna buy 2 more palaces, which all of that we can go straight to Momogo Garage to buy Star Engine.
I can feel
Alright. We're gonna head over to the Akuta Bar one more time and enter into the Iris Network's den so we can get him healed up. Hi, Mo.
Hi, Jade.
I can't see a thing.
Where are you, Miss Jade?
And then we go into our another
Nino!
another
Hey,
cutscene here.
Double H is with me. He needs help.
Double H
And we get
reporting
one
for duty.
important thing that happens here in a little bit. There's one line that's gonna show up here that made any player of the game upset. Last dose of antidote, like he just said. So that was kind of like hinting towards, well, if there was a second game, how is anybody going to be healed by that? But instead of them having a sequel for the next game, they made it into a prequel about how everything happens. Which the last game was launched, or was,
You're gonna be all right.
the trailer was released back in 2018, I believe.
Hang on.
And
it's
that's all
almost
we
over.
really know about it.
Yeah, it's been a long time. There's been many
Thanks to you,
trailers
Jade.
or showcase of game and
Just
He's a
changed
fighter.
many
He'll be
times.
okay. He'll be back on his feet. in a
Hopefully it's
couple of
gonna
weeks.
be
Friends. I
end
believe
soon,
Jade has
and we're
just
gonna
shown
get
us an
second
amazing
game
demonstration of courage.
sooner than later.
Nice work, kid. Good. Now come have a look.
Right,
That's where the victims are taken.
this is where they want us to go next, and that's the slaughterhouses. But fortunately for us, we don't have to go through the slaughterhouses. It's a little time consuming
Your last
going
report
through
from the
there.
factory had a large impact on the
Yeah,
population.
around
And
20
The
to half a
aliens
minute.
have
Sorry, half an hour,
spontaneously shown their support
It's a half an hour.
more or less.
for you. It'll come in handy.
Alright, so we should have 25 pearls coming out of here. That's good. That means that we've collected everything that we need to. And we will then head over and do a little bit of a shopping spree. But first, we get to
WWTAO.
WWTAO.
WTAO.
We work together as one. Carlson and Peters,
Carlson and
page
Peters,
823.
Page 823.
Never gets old.
Now we are heading off to go shopping. Like Senvi said, we're going to get 2 pearls, and then we're going to get a third item. And what exactly is this third item that we're going to be getting?
Steve was using the super attack, we're gonna buy super attack strengthen. What it does is gonna spawn a little pink balls after each time you hit the button in the gamepad. It's gonna spawn more and more, which basically can one-shot some enemies like Alpha Section guards. They have backpack on them, and if you hit them, they just die instantly. And later on in the game, there's gonna be multiple fights with multiple enemies that if you are lucky enough and that little pink ball's gonna hit them, instead of like spending 2 or maybe 3 minutes killing all of them slowly, you can end fight in like 5 seconds. And on the final boss on the moon, there's enemy are basically each one of them have 1 HP, so killing them all with the pink balls is really faster than killing them one by one.
Yeah, it's very, very helpful.
Yeah, and thankfully, luckily enough, the 2 photos of the boss are each worth big money, and also we get rewards from the Castellac for doing the Black Island, and all of that is enough money to buy everything we need.
Alright, so you're saying, well, you only had 27 pearls. Where are you going to go to get your last 3? Well, luckily for us, there is one section right here, and this is called the Alpha Section's undercover quarters. And we're going to be getting our last 3, because there's only 3 in this area, and it's on our way over to the Mamago garage anyway. So we're going to go here, and we're going to get our last 3 from these Krochaks here. But there's a little bit of a, I guess you could call it a puzzle section.
Yeah, a little bit, but also there's another place where you can get 3 pearls fast in one place. It's in the city, but it's a little longer than this. So yeah, let's not do that. Even though it's kind of fun, chase is at the end, but yeah, it's faster to do that.
Alright. So I tried to get him to stay in the other room because he just gets in your way. Otherwise. There we go. Alright, so here's our Krochaks. I'll try not to kill the white rat.
It's never that easy.
Okay, we did not kill the white rat. He's still just chilling out right there. Say hi to the rat. Now we have our 30 pearls, and we can head over to the Mamago garage, where we are going to be getting our stellar motor to fly off to the moon.
And say hello to the space whale.
Oh, yep.
Funny enough, on my first playthrough when I played the game and I tried to take all pictures of animals, I did not know that there's a whale in the space. So, yeah. Who would guess?
Alright, everybody gets to hear the awesome Mamago garage music one more time. And I think we have a little special message from Paige here as well, who isn't here with us.
Hey, Jay! A school of blue scorpion!
There we go. He just wanted to butt his head in really quick here and say something. And as you can see, all these places that we skipped, the 5, 15, 20, and we're just going to go right over to the 30 and get our Cello motor to head off to the moon.
Is included, Jade. Don't let the neck.
And while we're heading up to the moon and doing stuff, this would actually be a good time to read off stuff if you have anything, Shadow.
I was about to look for a moment to butt in for a bit, so this comes in perfectly. So yeah, everyone, reminder, we are still watching the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering right now. We've been going for quite a bit, and we've already raised a great amount of money, 1,465 euros. But I believe that we can even reach a better amount here. Like, if I'm not gonna say everyone in chat should donate €1 because at that point we would like almost 1.5 times half as much money. I'm not immediately saying that everyone should donate, but you know, €1 can do a lot. For example, there's still donation incentives open for quite a few games, and for example, for the Pokemon X and Y run later, the Alucha name and Leper's name don't have any names put towards them yet. So even there, a single euro can make a difference of what name will be used during that run. So if there's still a very specific name you want to see, for example, Jade or Paige, I'm just giving some suggestions here. Like I enjoy those characters. Make sure to put in a little donation for those names, and with that, you do help the Dutch Cancer Society. Every little donation that will make a difference. They help people who are suffering from the disease and also help to find a cure. And it's not just people in the Netherlands. Their research helps everyone in the world. They share their everything that they discover, they share with the world, and together we can make an end to cancer. So, yeah.
Okay.
If there's anything else you can say, this next section is a little bit boring. All we're going to be doing really at this section is we are going to be using lights. It's a light puzzle that we have to do, and we have to pick up different pillars in order to get those lights. So if you have anything else, go ahead.
I can keep talking if you want me to. So yeah, for right now we're still in the middle of the Beyond Good and Evil run. After this, there's going to be a few. The next run is going to be Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and the run I want to mention afterwards is Octopath Traveler, because I mentioned the donation incentives for Pokemon X and Y earlier, but also Octopath Traveler still has some donation incentives left open. It won't be as much as a single euro to make a difference, but still, there's still small amounts that can definitely make your difference. One of the incentives is for the character that will be played with right now, or at least which character story to go through. It's like a completely different storyline that can be chosen, and therefore completely different ones. Right now in the lead is Tressa with 15 euros, followed by Cyrus in second place with 5 euros, and Ophelia and Hanit, both lagging behind on 0 euros. If there's like one of those characters that you're like, hey, that character is much better than Tressa right now, well, go make in a donation. You have about, if I look at the timers, you have about an hour, maybe slightly more, to make a difference in that. Or if you're like, hey, Tressa, I want to see Tressa. I need to make sure Tressa stays in the lead. Well, you can also donate for that. Increase that lead. Make sure that Tressa gets shown off. And, you know, if it doesn't matter for you exactly which character will be played with, well, there is also an incentive for which language we'll be playing at. Also, if you just want to cut me off at one point, just go ahead. But...
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna point out, if you listen in there, if you play that casually, listen in carefully. What makes this part a little bit creepier is in the background you can hear pigs squealing and screams in the background. So not to ruin anybody's childhood, but it just makes it a little bit creepier. So now that we have all the lights in here, I want to say surprise. We have found Paige. He is trapped in amber. He's doing a little bit. He's doing a Star Wars.
I'll get you out of there.
A little bit of a Star Wars thing here.
Yeah, and the hardest puzzle game ever created.
So this puzzle, when you're younger or you first played the game, it's actually a very difficult puzzle actually, but once you know that the easiest way to do this is to go around the outside edge, then it just becomes very simple. So right here we're going to get all of those, and then we're going to run over here, grab this one, turn it, so space is right there, get all those, and then one more time going to go right there, and leave it there, and it's going to fix the last one.
That was one of the first things I tried to find better setup, and I was like, hey, let's turn that one pillar, maybe something good happens, and voila, I was like, okay, good enough.
So the reason that I ran back was to make sure that Double H's health showed up, because this area you can actually, for some reason, Double H can despawn in this section. Don't know why.
Yeah, it happened twice to me. It's not a really good thing.
Cool. So that was the special attack upgrade that you just saw me do right there. I used the power and then I just mashed the attack button and it sent out all those pink orbs.
Yeah, you had a chance between doing the fight one-on-one by waiting and baiting the Alpha Section guard attack and then ending him in fast combo, or using the super attack strengthen, and which was faster this time.
There's multiple ways to do this puzzle right here, and this is just the way that I've always done the puzzle. We're coming up on basically our last skip of the game. There's going to be a cutscene up here with the two big bosses talking to each other, and they want you to take a picture afterwards. But all we have to do is we have to stand in a specific area, and we can actually just take a picture without actually having to go into the cutscene.
Yeah, normally it would show that both dams and Alpha Section are working together, and that would be the last draft to make the revolution happen on the Iris. But we're just gonna make this nice photo of the floor and just gonna walk back, because yeah, it's good evidence enough. People are gonna believe it.
Isn't that the first? You said that was the first trick that you actually found in the game?
Yeah, that was the first skip or glitch I found in any game I ever played. It was like, hey, maybe I can do this photo from there, and was like, yeah, okay, good.
So we're gonna run through here, and if we see Double H's health, that means that he did not despawn. Okay, we are good. He did not despawn on us, so we can finish this up without having... I had a safety save here, just in case he actually did despawn, but we don't have to worry about that, using that safety save. And if you look at the side of the moon there, it's really spazzing out for some reason. Normally you're supposed to be doing this after we release Paige here, but instead we did it now. But this is a very sad moment. We need F's in chat one more time for Paige, because Paige is actually dead right now. So casually, this is a very sad moment.
Yeah, playing casually this game, well, you don't skip some stuff which we do with Beluga skip. You would have another really emotional cutscene on the lighthouse when you see that all of the kids or the orphan you were taking care of, all of them were kidnapped and are being held captive on the moon. So playing the game and this one cutscene after another is really heartbreaking to you and really make this more emotional.
To make it a little bit more of a positive note, can I read a few donations?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, great. A bunch of donations started coming in right now. We got a €15 donation from Jack of Hearts saying, had to donate during a run of the first game I ever learned to speedrun. Loving how much the route has changed and the new tricks you're showing off. Glad I could watch it live. We also have €3 from Trirex67 without a comment, but also very, very appreciated. And then we got €10 from Mercurius59 saying, sending love from the US. I still need to complete Octopath Traveler for myself, so I won't be watching to avoid spoilers. But I hope everyone has a good run. Thank you all so much for those donations, and we're almost at the €1,500 marks. We only need 7 more euros. I'm 100% certain we can get that before the end of this run. I believe.
Thank you. And one thing that they talked about right there is they called Paige Chief. We find out, one of the cutscenes that we completely skip is we find out that Paige is actually the leader of the Iris Network. And so he sent a message saying that he was alive, so we just run back and he's right here.
You found him? You didn't
But
screw
because
up
we
my
did things
settings,
a little bit out of order,
Exactly as I found. Stench and all.
the cutscene right here, going back to when she had her hands on him, is going to spaz out a little bit. It's going to zoom in on her face, and that's going to shake like crazy, as well as her hands are going to.
saved me. You're the one that brought me back to life. You're not the one you think you are, Jay.
So here's the close-up,
There's always been
and then it's going to show the
prodigious
hands.
energy hidden deep inside
There we
you.
go.
Now it's coming to the surface.
Usually on PC version of this game, during this cutout cutscene, the audio lags really often to just black out and you have this off-guard silence just watching this cutscene. Really don't know why it happens, sometimes it just happens.
But we can't do anything for them right now. There's too few of us. We need help in order to attack the lunar base in full force.
The only way
Alright,
of obtaining
so
the
after this
secret
we are going to
is to follow Nino's
head
command.
out of here by
Wait for a report
doing the
and use
triple
the
elevator.
long-range transmitter to
And the
broadcast
funny
it.
thing that's going to happen here is Paige and
Okay, let's get a move
Paige
on.
and Double H are going to talk about how long they've been inside of the things that the Downs are doing to him. But the funny thing is, Paige is going to say he was in it for 3 weeks when he's been in there longer than Double H has.
Yeah, who would guess? 3 weeks in 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Let's go. Jade, thanks for coming to my rescue.
Alright, so now we are going to go back to where we started with the Beluga, and Paige is going to say one more thing to us, like Senthi was saying earlier. That's the Beluga! You managed to get it working, even though he was flying around with us for half of the game.
I hardly had any.
Yeah, but even let's not talk about flying because the game doesn't register that, but even so, he gave us the M-Disc with Beluga, and in that cutscene you mentioned in Slaughterhouse when we learned that he's the boss of Iris Network, even mentioned that, hey, get the M-Disc I give to Jade, rim the M-Disc, and it's like he's still really surprised that he can see Beluga once again. He really didn't have any faith in us.
Alright, so we're going to look over this way to make sure that they're both coming over here because, as I've said multiple times, the AI just doesn't want to work with people sometimes. And I've lost like 2 or 3 minutes in this place alone just because Paige would not move. So this gun is going to shoot 3 times. That was 1. Here's number 2. Then the third one that's here, if I can get it. Nope, I didn't get it. You can roll past that if you get lucky enough.
Hang on tight. We're almost to the
Yeah, it's really
Alright,
hard.
everybody make your last guess for the last code, because this is the last time we're going to be taking a picture to get a code. Come on, Double H.
He gets stuck again in the same place.
Yes, same exact spot. We were practicing this the other day for commentary, and Double H got stuck in the same exact spot that he just did.
Okay, I also noticed that Steve right now have only 3 hearts, and that's like, say, the perfect amount of heart we want to get getting inside the final boss fight in the game. But there's still some things we have to do, some fights, so it's really gonna be difficult to maintain this health.
M9X6.
If the pop
M9X6.
Okay, and now we're gonna have one of the best cutscenes first because we're gonna witness the genius of Secundo, the master of hackers, doing what he can do the best and change the sex of the AI from male to female. And after that we're gonna witness another great cutscene when I mentioned earlier that all of evidence we take picture of gonna be used in the final cutscene. Normally with things like photos, let's reuse something that we already made, but no, I really like the fact that the game used the photo you made, so it makes more specific to you that your work hard is really good.
Yeah, so this is the longest cutscene in the entire game. If you combine both of this one going into the next one, it's the longest part. But we also have one more thing that I need you guys in the chat to be involved with. We need you, when I tell you, I need you to revolt and say down with the office sections, or do revolting noises, or yell, whatever you want to do, because boos will work, anything will work, but when I tell you, I need you to do it, so you can help out with revolting against the office sections.
data loaded. Broadcasting.
But first we have to have our broadcast. We have Secundo here to broadcast. So this is the broadcast that they've been seeing for basically years and years, just the same broadcast, and then all of a sudden
have broken through
this will
our
happen.
protective borders and infiltrated your city. Enough is enough.
Amigos, señoras, señoras, and señoritas.
Señoras, y of course, señoritas.
It's never get
So,
old.
So it's gonna show all of the evidence that we got from all the places that we went to.
But we didn't went to Slaughterhouse. So what's
Yeah, we never. Yep, we never went to Slaughterhouse to get the pictures for the research. So here's the first picture. You can't really tell what it is. Then we have the second picture. You can kind of tell what it is. The third one is just a wall. And then the screen kind of freaks out because we were supposed to have Slaughterhouse pictures at this point.
They're just gonna get smaller and smaller.
Since the beginning,
Then finally,
we have been manipulated.
right here's our last picture of the wall. Now revolt. We need revolting, people.
Yeah, and it's really the best line because Jade also said that stop leaving the lie the alpha section tells you, and we are just
Down with the alpha sections.
Yeah, and we just show the picture of the floor, like, yeah, really good evidence.
Boo! Murderers. Down with the alpha section.
And voila!
So now after that, they're gonna
We have to go back for them.
they're going to give us a chase sequence. And as Senvi pointed out to me last time, they give us a minute and 30 seconds. If he wanted to blow up this thing, he could give us like 10 seconds and everybody would be dead and his plan would have worked. However, he decided to give us a minute and 30 seconds to just run away from here.
Just good guy, deep inside.
Yep.
While we're running away, can I run through some quick donations?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Alright, we got a 7-year-old donation from Gregory Hinoyo saying, I spent too long watching this and not enough time giving, so I hope my meager donation will help in any way. It definitely does, Gregory, it definitely does. And we also got an 8-year-old donation from GP73 saying, Jade, fight the cancer! And with that, we've also reached over 1,500 euros!
Yay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone.
Thank you everyone who's donated up until this point. And well, I believe we can reach the 2,000 before the end of the marathon. I believe. Thank you all so much.
Alright. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for raising the money, everybody. So this fight, I'm not a big fan of. It's simple, but you could easily just lose it right here if you have really bad movement.
And also
what's gonna
with
happen is your
great health, you only have like 2 health on the beginning, and later on you have 4 hearts. But with with Beluga, we never get any heart upgrade, so we have only 2 hearts, and yeah, it's really easy to just die because of how little heart we have. Everything here hard. So yeah, it's really hard in the first playthrough.
So those missiles on the side there, those yellow missiles, you do not want to hit those missiles. They hit for 2 health. So if you get hit just once while you're in the Beluga, then you're going to die.
After Alpha Spider fight, we're gonna get inside Alpha Spider, and there's gonna be another fight where the super attack strength and the pink ball is gonna be really useful. If we get really lucky, we can end fight in like 5 seconds, or we can spend like maybe around a minute. So it really depends on what load lag we're gonna get.
Alright.
That's the fight.
So these Yeah, that was the Alpha Spiders fight. That was actually pretty good. That was my only gold split in this entire run. Now right here, we're going to try and be careful. Double H only has 1 heart.
Same with Page, if I remember correctly.
Not right here, nope.
Okay.
So,
Oh, cool. That was.
Yeah, like Steve said, entering this Alpha Spider, there's an electric cable going left and right, and after killing all of these guards and watching the cutscene, if you leave, try to leave, and either Page or Double H die, you have to redo everything. The whole fight, the whole cutscene once again. So it's really...
So as long as, yep, it's just important that we get out of here without them hitting anything.
Yeah, even with this good fight, if you are unlucky and one of them just get hit because reasons, it's like 2 minutes lost because of redoing everything.
Alright, so one thing when you play this game casually, they don't really point out exactly where the button is to get off the tractor beam. So all you have to do is just go right to that, just hit the action button to hit the button, and then we can leave. Alright, so Double H, please do not die.
No, there's no one left.
There we go. He should be walking through that way and he should have plenty of time. Alright, we're good. So now we do not have to worry about doing that whole fight over again.
Now, everybody, we need to count to 15.
Yeah, there's 15, and this is just RNG based on it. Luckily, we have full health on our ship.
For now.
Look out!
Yeah, for now.
Sweet Jesus, they're everywhere!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15.
We have the support of the people of Hillis, Jade. We'll cover you.
Alright everyone, now that we have that, it's almost impossible for me to die here. I still can get hit by those bullets, but we are going to land here. And when we land, we are going to head into the final area or the final boss here. And if there's anything else you want to say, Shadow, this is the last time you'll be able to.
Alright then, I definitely will take this moment to remind everyone that we're raising money for the Dutch Cancer Society. It's a nationwide organization committed to fight cancer while aiming for more cure and a higher quality of life for those already battling the disease. All your donations will go to the Dutch Cancer Society. And I want to remind everyone that the donation incentive for the character and the language for Octopath Traveler is still open up until the start of the run after it. We got Captain Toad first after this. After that, it's Octopath. Captain Toad isn't the longest run, so if you want to make sure you see your favorite character in Octopath Traveler, make sure to donate for them. It's gonna be... You're gonna miss out if you don't get your favorite character. Does that sound convincing? I don't know. Anyway, see you.
Is in here where there's checkpoints and it's a little bit harder. But I do want to point out that the music in this final boss fight is amazing. Just as amazing as all the music that we've been hearing throughout the entire run.
They made you human, but you are not like them.
Yeah, the fight with final boss is, again, base, phase locked. So, in the first phase, there's gonna be few waves of dumps, and like I said earlier, each of the dumps have only 1/2 of health, so each either of super attack strengthen or ping ball just gonna kill them really easily. And after that, we have to hit the final boss with disc thrower twice, and that's gonna end the first phase. And it's the end. And like Steve said, everything hits really hard. Especially the final boss, he always hit you for too hard, so any hit right now you take would make him die really easily. Second phase, we have to throw the page clones like that. If you are lucky enough and two of them spawn like that in straight line, you can just throw twice, and instead of throwing twice your disc, you just throw the clone of page and end fight so fast. Okay, now first dance with the boss. This part is easy because it's always the same: left, forward, right, above, behind, right, and forward. And later on it's gonna be similar, but your movement's gonna be reversed, but that's gonna be a little later on. Okay, that was good. Okay, and this one fight with Double H clone is the sole reason why we wanted to buy Square Tank Strengthen, because getting all of them on one-on-one fight with this shield is really painful to do, and it was really good luck with King luck. Okay, so every time you die right now, you would have to kill again Double H clones and redo this fight again. So right now every movement is reverse. If you press left, Jade going right. If you press up, Jade going down. And even if you play this casually and you have more hearts, if you miss any movement and you get hit by the boss, the game gives you little small amount of time for you to do anything. So basically you are in you're basically locked down in that combo when the boss just gonna kill you again and again.
Alright, let's do this. Now, I have 4 hearts. I was hoping to get it first try, but we're fine. So the timing does not end on the final boss of the hit of the final hit on the boss. It will be the final hit inside of the cutscene.
Yeah, so the final time is not when the cutscene starts, but when Jade just stick her stick in the eye of the final boss. You're gonna know when.
Okay, and time.
GG.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Beyond Good and Evil done in under 2 hours. I hope you enjoyed. I love this game so much.
Great game.
It's fantastic. It's fun to play casually too. If you get the chance, play it casually. And it's available on Steam, I believe. It's on Xbox One, the PlayStation, and then if you're interested in speedrunning the game, we have a speedrun.com page, as well as a Discord. So if you're interested, go ahead and go there. But now we get to see the final ending with this amazing music. This is really good music to just like close your eyes and listen to. It's really, really good music. And it's very touching after doing this whole game.
Yeah, and made really big assumption to next game, which we know that's gonna be a little different, but hey.
And we're not going to see it through all the credits because there's no skipping it, because at the very end, I'm not going to tell you what happens. You have to play it casually. There's a big surprise at the very end of the credits if you watch them. This final cutscene isn't that long, so.
That's the game.
Yeah. Yep. they're showing all of the Jade's freeing everybody here.
And reviving even.
And reviving them, yeah. And the last thing you see from this game is a close-up on Jade's face and a little smile. Thank you again for having me, BSG, ESA, for hosting this, and make sure to donate, everyone. We want to try and get to that 2,000 by the end of the marathon. Thank you again.